we must be intentional. We must never lack in zeal. Paul said in Romans 12:11, never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. The best way to maintain love for God in your life is to keep your spiritual fervor and never lose zeal for the Lord. And the way that we typically, that I've observed and I've experienced myself personally, that we lose that fervor is when we allow desire for other things to creep in. We're not to love the world or the things in the world. Scripture tells us that. And in fact, it warns us. John says, listen, we're not to love the world, the things that are in the world. If any man loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. That's a strong word. And so what can happen is, it doesn't mean that you don't enjoy nice things with your family, but you don't let those things become your consuming passion. The passion is Christ. And you're willing. The interesting thing about the Moravians, they were willing to sell everything and do everything so they could win for the Lamb who was slain, the reward of his suffering. You see, we live in a moment where we are very individualistic. In fact, we've gotten more individualistic. One of our elders was praying the other day. It's like we ride in our cars, we pass each other, we hardly stop. There's not crowds of people anymore, especially since COVID. We just tend to, we work remotely, we watch things remotely, we Zoom this, we do that, all this stuff. And it's like, and yet God's saying, listen, it's in the community of the believers that we'll thrive, we're going to come alive. But it's also this place where we just really begin to carry the heart of humanity, right? And so somehow we have to get out of that place of our individualism and get to the place where we have God's heart for those in society and those all around us that don't know him. And the only way that I know that can happen is we spend enough time with the Lord in prayer individually and then maybe in groups praying together that all of a sudden we carry his passion. Just read through the book of Jeremiah, for example. All of a sudden we carry the passion for his city. We feel the pain of his city. We feel the anguish of his city. We feel the brokenness of his city. We feel it. We begin to pray. We begin to intercede. Or maybe it's your own family. And we say, God, Lord, let them not slip into eternity without Christ.